the BHP Billiton, the old BHP Billiton, which is BHP now. The Vestas is into wind farms and windmills. Rio Tinto is a mining company, and the last one is Saudi Arabia. The key about this manufacturing, construction, and energy mining sectors is all about almost 75 to 80% of HSE opportunities come up in these three areas. So that's how huge this is. But this is not just the sector, there are other sectors which I'll come to. So this is actually the bread and butter of HSE, which works across the globe, not just in India. Then coming to transportation and logistics. So whether you travel on the land, on a train, through the sea, or on the air, HSE is required in that too. Some areas may require specialized personnel, like in shipping industry, they prefer somebody with a bit of shipping experience other than a direct HSE personnel. Deboarding and boarding stations like airports, seaports require HSE. Road accidents are still high in India. So any guesses on how many people die every year in India due to road accidents?
1.5 lakhs.
Perfect. Good. That's another round of applause. It's 1.5 lakh plus. You can get that report on the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Go through it. It's a very good report that it is being published every year. Got a lot of information about road accidents in India. So that is how critical it is, and it is very, very high when compared to developed countries. E-commerce and 3PL, that is something which has picked up in the last 2-3 years, something like Amazon, Flipkart, Walmart, and anything and everything which delivers to your home. So all of them are now putting in a lot of focus, because more you are into B2C, that is business to customer, the image of an organization depends directly on the risk that you're having. So you have more number of accidents, you have somebody dying on the roads, wearing an Amazon t-shirt and being an Amazon employee, it hits the organization badly. So that's why there's a lot of focus on e-commerce and 3PL companies in the last few years. Maersk and Hapag-Lloyd are two big container companies. So they do a lot of work in HSE. And Sial and Cochin Metro Rail, you all know what it is. So any questions on industrial sector?
Sir, would you say it is difficult to change your career? For example, if you started off in construction and then moving to industrial or petroleum, would you say it is difficult?
I wouldn't say it is difficult. It is impossible, but definitely as you progress in your career, specializations tend to stick to you. So if you're somebody who has spent a very long time in construction, you may find it slightly difficult to change your sector. It is not impossible. You need to tap the right opportunity. You need to tap the better windows which are coming in. So that is the normal route which happens. So I'll give you an example. When I was working in Tata Motors was constructing India's largest paint shop. So I think still it is India's largest paint shop. It's a Japanese company called Nakamura. So it was made in Pune. So that time we needed construction safety professionals, and they were actually taken on Tata Motors roles. They were having only construction safety experience. They were taken on Tata Motors role. Once the construction of the paint shop completed, they were trained in industrial safety and taken. They continue to work within Tata. So it happens. It definitely happens, and it is not something. It is impossible.
So when you're starting off your career, would you say we have to wait for the the particular industry that we are interested on, just try off the industries that we get a job in and then decide?
It is a mix of both. So if you get a good opportunity in a company where there is growth, there is learning. So I'll come to that in the end, which is called the career roadmap. So in the beginning phase, when you're picking up any job, focus not on salary, focus not on the glitz and glamour, but more on learning. So somewhere you can learn a lot, you can get make up good experience. So that is the best part in choosing your first company, not just the sector.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'll go into the next one. Next one is about consulting. The consulting sector, majorly these three areas: consulting, certification and auditing, and training. Consulting is about providing expertise or advice to organizations on how to improve their HSE performance. It can be both technical and non-technical consultation. So it can be some kind of behavioral improvements, organizational improvements, or thorough technical. So improving your fire system or improving mission guarding, anything. So it can be both technical and non-technical. And it can be in any area of health, safety, environment, fire, or sustainability, or it can be a combination of each of those. And the four companies which are called the four big pillars in consulting: Ernst & Young, KPMG, Deloitte, and PwC. So consulting is that you may need a bit of difficult if you have not actually seen a organization across the globe are working towards some kind of certification or the other. It could be the QHSE 9001, 14001, 45001, or a lot of other certifications are there in sustainability, in specific, like in automobile manufacturer, you have TS 16947, something like that. So specific certifications also are there. So once you move into a certificate program for the various certificates, and you can expand your horizon within that field itself. Within certification itself, there is auditing. So you work as third-party auditors across organizations. You go and audit organizations, prepare audit reports, submit to the organization, whether they want to list in a stock exchange, whether they want to do a program somewhere else. Everything requires an audit report, wherein HSE part is important. Last but not the least, and very important, is training. Training is a must across organizations. Every organization's depends on a lot on third-party trainers. And the best thing about third-party training is it is not compulsory that you have to join an organization. There is a lot of opportunity for freelancing also. Again, just like consulting, training can also be technical, behavioral, organizational. Any of the perspectives can come into that. Key part about training, you need continual updation. More than any other role or any other profile, a trainer's profile will require a lot of effort from their end to continually update their skills and knowledge. And a combination of these three is very common in industry. So same company like a DNV, they can come in, they can do consulting, they can do certification, they can do auditing, and they can do training also. So that's a very common feature within the consulting sector. Any questions in this? Okay, then I'll go through. Then it's a services sector. Services sector also, there is a huge growth which is seen in the last few years. Industrial services is one part, and other services. Industrial services is all about a lot of companies are there which provide services to equipment. So you install equipment in a factory, they will come and do services on a regular time. So these companies require a lot of HSE, experienced personnel to make sure that the jobs are carried out in a safe manner. A lot of services jobs happen on temporary sites. So like in my organization, we supply equipment to a lot of companies which are in the mining sector, like Steel Authority of India, which is doing steel mining, or JSW, Tata Steel, Adani. So we supply to them. So for our equipment, we do regular servicing. So the people will have to be stationed at a mining site for something like 12 months to 18 months. So we have a dedicated HSE person who works there, along with the team, to make sure our activities are carried out in a safe manner. So there, again, here you have a lot of different types of contracts and different types of job roles. It can be direct, indirect, contract, third party, off-roll, on-roll. So a lot of things like that happen. Then coming to other services, this is a field which has picked up a lot in India in the recent years. Earlier, it was not that a hotel required HSE professional or an education institute, but now a lot of uh, services industries are employing HSE professionals, whether it be hotels, education institute, amusement parks employ them. A lot of malls started employing HSE professionals, hospitals, financial sector. A lot of banks have taken HSE guys to work. So that is also another area which is coming up. Definitely, you have scope, and these are the areas in which India is just waking up to it with regards to HSE professionals. Any questions?
Like say it is given like hospital is one of the other services, sir. So in hospitals, sir, the only the hazard I guess it is fire, sir. Another hazard, sir, which may take place in hospital.
A lot of facades in hospitals which can. Facades are basically physical, chemical, biological, radiological. So radiological hazards are there in hospitals. Almost all the hospitals use X-rays, MRI machines. So there are a lot of hazards with that. The biggest hazard is actually not fire or electricity. It is actually biomedical waste. So when somebody is working in a hospital which is treating COVID patients, the way the biomedical waste should be treated is very difficult how you collect it from the first point, move it to the collection point, how you pack it, manage it, and send it to the final disposal point. So that is completely managed by HSE professionals in hospitals. So hospitals are very huge, and that is will continue to grow also. Okay, I'll go to the next one. Then about the governmental sector, basically two areas are there. One is about the statutory or regulatory. So that includes all the central pollution control boards, state pollution control boards, factory directorates, boiler directorates. There is huge opportunity in insurance for HSE professionals, because insurance, whether you are insuring an organization for the first time, whether you are reinsuring it, whether if an incident happens and you need to claim your benefits from the insurance company, everything happens after the audit report of an HSE professional. So there is huge opportunity in that. Same with banks also. When bank is giving a loan, it requires a thorough audit by a HSE professional. So there is definitely opportunity in that too. All this work like a regulatory or a semi-regulatory roles, but opportunity is huge. And once you have a bit of experience, definitely you can always look at this kind of opportunities which come up. Fire and emergency services, I think you know it. Several states are recruiting HSE professionals, especially fire, which have learned fire engineering into the fire and rescue services roles. Does anybody know what AFS stands for? It's Airport Fire Services. That's one of the arms of Airports Authority of India, which recruits fire professionals for the various airports which are coming under Airports Authority of India. So, so that is another area. A lot of companies, industries which are big or which have a huge size, have their own fire service. Like Tata Motors had its own fire service. So they also employ within their companies fire professionals and emergency professionals. Like Reliance Industries has their own fire service. It is not called HSE, it's a fire department is separate. So that is also another opportunity which can come up. Then coming to governmental sector, international level, there are a lot of international bodies as well as intergovernmental bodies which provide opportunities to HSE professionals, International Labour Organization, United Nations Environment Program, then a lot of non-UN international organizations like CDP or Carbon Disclosure Project, a lot of organizations like that which need HSE expertise. So once you slowly grow in your career, you can learn about it, understand it, and if you have an inkling towards that, definitely the world is all yours. You can go work towards that. Then there are NGOs and policy agents, which we call. This is more of a passion than directly a profession. So something like a Greenpeace or Amnesty International. So they will need HSE professionals to check whether things are happening safe, to do audits, to do investigations. So a lot of opportunity there also. And finally, last but not the least, the academic sector. So the system design is all about a lot of my friends as well as many HSE professionals who have passed out from CUSAT are working in system design. That is about designing a specific HSE system, whether related to fire or some kind of incident prevention. So it can be either with highly specialized companies like Tyco, Siemens, or they can be integrators, a Woods Group or something like that, a Petrofac. So they design systems, and you need a HSE input into that to make sure that the system is safe. So that's what they do in system design. And academia or research is all about you're working as part of colleges or research and development. So research and development, it is not just DRDO. There is a lot of R&D work going on in the pharma and biotech sector also. There is a lot of requirement for HSE professionals. So I think I've covered the sector part. Any questions now?
So what is the way to get recruitment to DRDO? Sir, like sir, in earlier times, sir, DRDO used to visit our campus. Like, what is it today the procedure for entering in
You have
DRDO?
to go through the websites. You have to check with advertisements put out by DRDO and search for it. You can ask any of the seniors who are working in DRDO. They would be able to give you a better answer than me. A
So
lot of
usually, sir,
seniors.
they're seeking for a lot of companies for of experience. They are seeking for experience. They not take freshers.
Yeah, no worry on this. When you're passing out of college, this is a feeling that each of us had. So what will I do without experience? So wherever you get through, start off and try to learn more. So I'll come to that on career enhancement, but don't just focus on something. I'm not getting there, or they are asking for too much experience. Don't stop your journey. Continue with your journey. There will be roadblocks. You need to jump over it and go through. So definitely, you can have a focus search with DRDO. Ask any of your seniors who are working there in DRDO. They'll be able to give you a better picture of what you need to focus to get into DRDO.
So what can we do, sir, in off campus? Like, sir, after the campus, if we don't want to do job from this campus, what are the options I can go on off campus if I'm a fresher?
There are hundreds of opportunities available. There are a lot of websites which provide jobs. Any of the job search websites, you can register yourself. You can directly call companies and see whether there are vacancies. You can talk to your friends, create a network by which they can tell you about openings. Companies which you know your seniors or alumni are working, contact them to see if there is any opening. So keep working towards that. The world is now open. You have internet in front of you. Just open the internet and search. You can get hundreds of jobs. So don't worry on that. Network well, search well, and continue to learn well. Any other question on sectors? Okay, then I'll go through what is called as the major profiles. So profile is something when you pass out of college, you are a safety and fire engineer. But once you enter an industry, your profile would change slightly. You will not be called a safety and fire engineer in almost all cases. That's a very rare designation that you get. So I'll take you through what are the most common profiles that you will get and how you link sector and profile. These are, you can say, the 6 common areas that you get. So safety engineer is a very common designation or a very common profile that you get in all kinds of industries. Then you have the 3 common titles or common profiles: HSC engineer, SHE engineer, or EHS engineer. It's one and the same, just because of how different countries have seen it. The definitions have slightly changed. So it's all health, safety, and environment. So those are the 3 parts of that. Environmental engineer is a definite one. So if after passing out you do course in environment and you want to shift, definitely that is an opportunity. There are companies which take in environment separately. Fire, I have already talked. Uh, uh, Fire engineers are required by a lot of organizations which are big, which are huge, as well as the state fire services. Sustainability is something which is coming up hugely in all the organization, something you can definitely learn while you're doing your course as well as after the course. It will definitely help you. ESG stands for environment, social, and governance. So that is what we call the triple bottom line. So you learn once you go through into the industry. And then last but not the least, the design specialist, which I talked about in system design. So these are the 6 common profiles that you can see across industries, across sectors, once you move into your careers. So I just added what is called as expandable profiles. Expandable profiles is areas which you can add to your qualification as you go through. So here also, like environment or environment, if you have not learned sustainability, you have not learned, you can add it to your career and expand your profile. These are some areas which you can add to your profiles as you go through. You can learn about quality, which will help you to become something called as a QHSC. That's a very common profile in a lot of industries. So, and as you grow, you have an additional value to your profile. So that helps you a lot. Manufacturing and production. I know people who have worked in HSE and moved out of HSE into manufacturing and production. The best thing about learning in Cochin University Safety and Fire Engineering is that it's a multi-dimensional course. You learn chemical engineering, you learn mechanical engineering, you learn civil engineering. So you have an opportunity to move into manufacturing and production if you are really willing and want to learn further. So that is an opportunity. And definitely logistics. If you want to move into logistics, that is also another expandable profile. So that's how the various profiles that I've talked about. So if you have any questions on this, I'll take it. Okay. There are no questions. I'll go to the next part. So career enhancement. So this is one question. Even when we started, few of you were asking how you can develop your career in HSE. You are just out of college, join an organization, how you can further develop or enhance your career. So I'll give you just 3 aspects in that. So because career enhancement is a huge topic, so I don't want to go too much into that. I'll give you 3 key takeaways that I have learned in my career. HSE required continuous updation. So HSE is one area wherein you learn something in college for 4 years, take up a job and forget about it, you will not grow in your career. HSE requires continuous updation of both knowledge as well as skills. So knowledge is what you learn in college. Skills is how to do an accident investigation. So that you need to continuously update yourself. You learn something, put it in practice. Learn something, put that in practice. And that is the only way you can do continuous updation of your skills. Same with knowledge also. Keep reading, understand, talk to people, and that is a must in HSE. If you are not able to do that on a regular basis, it will be very difficult for you to grow as a HSE professional. Second one is what we call off the job and the on the job. So on the job is what you learn while you're working. So when you're working, there are a lot of things which you can never learn while sitting in college. So that you have to learn on the job. So many companies have different systems for that. So in my present organization, we have something called as a buddy system. Buddy system means any new employee who joins will be assigned a senior employee who has worked in the organization for around 5 to 7 years at least to take him through the first 6 months. So that helps to give a lot of input, a lot of understanding. So if you're entering, many organizations may not have that. So try to pick up a buddy when you join an organization. Even if there is no structured approach for a buddy system, try to pick up a buddy, try to have a senior as a friend. try to learn from him, ask questions, try to learn from the people who are actually doing the job. So maybe somebody who is doing the job will be in production, or somebody who's doing the job will be in a construction worker, but ask questions. Ask questions, try to learn. Off the job is about what you learn after you work. So in the evenings or mornings before you go to work or after you come back home, pick up a book. There are hundreds of courses available on the internet, free courses, paid courses from very good universities. Courses are available now. As internet has grown, there is nothing which can stop you from doing off-the-job learning. So you need to learn that. HSE is continuously being updated on a regular basis. So you need to know what is happening, how you can improve, and what are the aspects that you need to continuously work on. So that is one part you need to learn. And the last question, somebody asked me a question about moving from construction to manufacturing or industrial. So that is one area. You need to widen your expertise, especially I'll come to that part about career roadmap. So especially in your initial phase, try to widen your expertise. Try to work across sectors. So if you're working in a construction sector, 1.5, 2 years, if you get even a starting job in manufacturing after that, go into that. Don't wait. So your initial 3 to 5 years, try to move horizontally rather than vertically. So if you are able to have a horizontal movement during the initial phases, it will definitely help you as you grow and widen your careers, and it can help develop your profiles also in a much rounded manner. Any questions? Okay, coming to the last part. So this I have tried to develop based on how my career has gone and how I've seen my compatriots, my colleagues, my friends in HSC, how they have grown their careers. So this is just a career roadmap which you can take as an example, or as something which you think you can recreate in your careers. So basically, you need to look at a HSC career in 6 phases. The first is the initial phase. The questions each of you were asking me, all this comes in the initial phase. The apprehensions of getting a job, how to get a job, how to find out a job. So that is just 1/5, 1/6, 1/6 of your career. So normally everybody says a career is 30 years. So you can divide 30 by 6 is 5. So don't take it as 5, but at least 2-3 years will be the initial phase. You will be understanding what the industry is. You will be starting to live your life on your own. So you will be start earning, you'll start spending, you'll be interacting. Till now, till the time you are in college, what happens is you'll be interacting with people of your same age and same qualification or same education. So everybody will be in the 17 to 21 phase while at college. But once you step out of college, once you start working, you will be interacting with somebody who is 70, interacting with somebody who is 55 years. So that is a span you will be interacting. So that will bring out a big change in you. So that is the initial phase. Initial phase is get out of your shells, understand the industry, read more, interact with people, make yourself free, try to become independent. So it's more about becoming a new person during the initial phase. That is the first time you will get your paychecks. That's the first time you will start earning money, you will start spending money. Till this time, most of you must be getting money from your parents, using that for your education and your life. So that is a big change that will happen. The next phase is about after your 2-3 years, once you slowly start settling down, you move into a phase where you know something, but you don't know how to grow, you don't know where to go. So that is the period you should pick up for learning. That is a period you should learn a lot. That is a period normally it is suggested if you want to go for a master's program after 2-3 years, go for the master's. That definitely gives you an advantage. If you want to change track, some of you may want to go for an MBA or change, want to try the civil service, want to go for an MTech. So that is the phase. After 2, 3 years, so you'll be around 24, 25. That period, your thoughts develop much more. You get better ideas, responsibilities develop much better, maturity increases. So that is a good phase when, if you want to have a track change, best point for that. Then comes the growth phase. That is where once you decide to stick back to HSC, or you complete your masters, come back to HSC, that is a growth phase where you should start growing in your organization. Whether you grow within an organization, whether you change organization, it is up to you. But you should try grow by around 6, 7 years. Then you should try start growing. Then comes the development phase, where you move from, what do you say, a deputy manager to a manager, or manager to senior manager. That's a phase around the 10 to 15 year phase, you can say, something like that. You may have people reporting to you. You may have to develop a team. You may be developing yourself as well as developing a team. So that is the phase of that. Then you move into the manage phase, where you will be managing a huge team, making sure that you both have technical as well as non-technical and behavioral skills to manage the teams and develop the organization. And towards the last phase of your careers, you go into something called as a coaching phase. The coaching phase is about, you are trying to develop the next generation of HSC, making sure that you work as an advisor, you work as independent director for some organizations, you take classes, you looking at the last phase. This is not a fixed roadmap, but this is my thought process, what I have seen, how my colleagues, friends have traveled in their lives in HSC. So that's what I've tried to depict here, and it can give you a yardstick, definitely a yardstick, whenever you have a doubt of how your career should go. Any questions? Okay, if there are no questions, that's it from my end. Uh, Anything about HSC, about taking up a HSC career, anything like that, if you have, if you want to ask a question now, you can ask it now. I'm still here. So I think, Maya, we have another 5 more minutes, right?
Yes, Raj, we do.
Yeah. So
Guys,
you
if
can
you're
ask,
shy to unmute, you can put it in the chat and we can take it up from
or you
there
can
as
write
well.
an email to me. That's why
Yeah.
I have put my email also. That's up to you.
Any queries? Anyone? Okay, it was such a fabulous presentation, Joe. Seriously, I'm not even an HSE person, but I really enjoyed it. It was so nice. It really was very, and you took the entire. It was like the complete package. Okay, what are the sectors? How to do, and then finally, I love the career roadmap. By the way, I think it's not just pertaining to HSE; it pertains to every single sector. I think so. And yeah, the one very good thing which I found personally about your presentation was you asking questions and them replying to that. So that was nice. That was a bit of interaction that we got. So
Thank you,
so
Maya.
yeah, thank you. It was really very interesting for me, I'm sure, and I'm sure for the students as well. And guys, if you have any queries, you can ask now or you can email him. It's all up to you. Any queries? Anybody? Anybody wants to say anything about the feedback or anything you want to say? Yes, no. We'll be floating the feedback form after the session through your branch rep. So please do fill in the feedback form, um, which will help the speaker and us as well. So from CUSAT clubs. So I think that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So thank you, Josh. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming
Thank you
and
for giving me an opportunity to interact with the new graduates. So all the
Yes.
best for your careers and make CUSAT proud.
Yes, thank you, George. You
Thank
have
you.
made CUSAT proud for sure, I know. So yes,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
Take
Thank you
care.
for attending. Take care.
Have a
Thanks a
nice
lot.
weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.